Okay, hi, all signed up for the WordPress class this week. We are going to look at mostly how text is used, you know, inside of WordPress. I'll show you different font size. I don't know about font. I haven't really. Depends on the theme that you have. Will change the font. So in this case, for this week of February 11th here, you have a couple things due. First thing would be a proposal, which is basically I want you to come up with a plan for a final website. So read all these and type all this up and send it to me. It seems like a lot, but planning is probably most of the work of making a website, and the rest is actually just putting it together. So, and WordPress makes that easy. So please read that and send me your ideas. There's also writing for the web. This is kind of the same content I had from the internet marketing class. But if there's some of the same videos, and then of course there's my notes. And so when you're typing in the text for your web pages, try and follow these guidelines that are listed here. So make sure you watch the videos and read about the articles, and then especially look at my notes right here. And then the other thing that's going to be important this week will be the theme. And so theme is sort of the look and feel of your website. And so I have some content that talks about the type of theme. So I'm going to want you to, again, choose a theme, and just for practice, making sure that you know how to install a theme and so on. It doesn't have to necessarily be your final theme for the class, but I will cover in this video how to choose a theme and how to customize it using the customize option. Again, most of the customize options allow you to have a featured image in a favicon, a logo image. I don't know. Some themes allow you to customize the font, some do not. So it depends on your theme that you have. I'll also cover widgets this week, and what are widgets, and then I'll show you how to choose a static web page. So those are kind of the things I'm going to cover right now. First thing you might want to do is a little research. Again, you can go to the WordPress.org themes here and then just start looking through them. Some of them are pay, some of them. So you don't really download here. You download inside of the WordPress interface when you're logged in. So I know I list this here for you to just do some research, where you just go and click and say, oh, I like this one, or this one looks interesting, or this one looks good, or something like that. And so once you click on more info, it'll take you to it. Some of the things I look for in a good theme is how many people are using it. If there's not a lot of people using it, then maybe there's some problems with it. And then ratings, of course, and so on. So just be careful when you're choosing a theme that you choose one that might, it'll show you how many people have downloaded per day and so on. So this one's kind of rather new. As you can see, I think it just started on January 15th, so maybe that's the reason why there's not too many people using it. But you might want to try it or something like that. But just be careful you don't, you choose a theme that only one person has used, because most likely there's some problems with it. So the most important thing is maybe to look at the name. So if you like this one, Gravel, I guess it's called, you could write that down or copy that and go back to WordPress and then search for it, and it'll show up. I'll show you how to do that. So again, this link right here for this is just to see what is possible. You don't download here because you don't have access to install onto the server unless you're inside of the WordPress environment. You can also search. I mean, if you're searching for a theme, let's say you're making a photography website, you could type in photography like that, and it'll give you themes that are very similar in that area. You see there's 387 under the photography there. You can look at the different options right here. Food is a good one. You can search for food, travel, whatever. So you can search and see. The other thing to keep in mind is each one of these themes seem to have a lot of images to them. So, thinking of what your images are and how to use images. Again, there's a lot to that. Let's get back to the WordPress. Again, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making a new page. Again, inside my WordPress, you'll notice I have pages right here, and I'm going to make a new page right now. In this page, I'm going to practice text. So right now I'm just going to cover some of the text features that you could do inside of WordPress. Again, this first one is a kind of a title one. I'm not really sure how that works, the title one, and how it relates to your page. I'll have to build a page. And in the older version of WordPress, there was an option up at the top here, and it was a little bit easier. I don't like the way these new block text things work with choosing text. Okay, let's talk about the text here. So the first one I'm going to type in, of course, is going to be H2 size text. So H2 is usually the second biggest. This title is usually the biggest. So if I select the text or just click inside here, I can go here to. It usually has this pop-up menu right here, and inside here you can usually choose the type of text you want. I don't know why it's not showing me my. Usually you can choose a heading in here. I don't know why it's not. I'm going to go click here where it says the two arrows, change block to heading. And then you'll notice once it's in the heading option here, instead of paragraph. So you got paragraph, quote. These are kind of common ones. I'll cover those. But I'm in heading right now. And then you can see you got H2, H3, and H4. Of course, the bigger numbers, the smaller size. If you put your cursor at the end of something and you hit return, it automatically makes a new block right here. So if you're trying to format your text, like in the reading it in the sample, my writing about how to format your text for screen readers, they talk about the chunking of text and using of subheads. So each time you hit return, it's going to make a new area of text, and then you could use that as a subhead or body of text. So again, let's just talk about paragraph break. So when I hit return, what it does is it makes what we call a paragraph break, and so you'll notice in here, this is paragraph right here. So if you click on the plus there, this is paragraph, which is a little bit different than heading. Heading is usually the title that you see there. Headings were great for a subtitle. But for body text or text that's written, you know, in several lines like this, and you'll see that this is, I'm just going to randomly put some text in here. This is what we call a paragraph option. In the paragraph option, you can either go left align, center, or right align, which is common. You can add bold. You can actually put areas that are different inside here. I haven't found a color yet either, so it's kind of weird. You're going to have to start doing options over here, I guess, for color settings. I don't know, let's try a different color here. See, that does the whole body of text, as you can see here. It's changing the whole body of text, not one line. You can bold one line if you want. If I hit the bold here, see, it'll bold just that area there. So it can do things like that, and as well as italic as well. You can use the italic. There's an italic option right there, and then of course a strike through as well. So there's those options there. Of course, you can make a link if you want. Remember, if you're going to highlight something to make a link, you should always, if it's an outside link, like let's say I'm going to Google, I type in http://www.google.com again, and then hit the arrow right here. That's like the first week we learned how to do that, so hopefully you remember that. So these are common paragraph options. Again, if I put my cursor at the very last line, I hit return, it's going to make a new block of information. Let's talk about copying and pasting from a different area, because a lot of times you type your type up inside of Word or something like that, and you want to copy and paste into WordPress. Again, I'm just going to copy from Wikipedia here for just an example. So I have a chunk of text inside of Wikipedia. Now, there's a copying and pasting. Of course, I'm on a Mac, so I'm using Command-C to copy. And if I go back to my option here in WordPress, I can just paste if I hit Command-V. The problem, if you just paste like that, you'll notice it also brings the links right here. So you have the links because Wikipedia has a lot of links, and it sort of just brings all the information. So in the old versions of WordPress, there was a toggle, which you could then toggle that off, and I can't find that anymore. So, but you can still do the keyboard commands. So I'm going to undo this right now. I thought this was an undo. Yeah, there we go. I'll go back in time before I pasted. This time, instead of using Command-V or regular paste, I'm going to hold the Shift key down. I'm going to do Command-Shift-V, or of course, if you're on Windows, you would use Control-Shift-V. So if I hit Command-Shift-V, it'll actually paste without the links. So it's kind of like plain 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 paste without the formatting. If you want to change the size and so on, as long as your cursor's inside there, you'll notice over the size over here where we have a paragraph. Right here is the formatting again. Is a block of text is a paragraph. You can also change size. You have normal, small, normal, large, and huge. Of course, huge is pretty huge. Normal's fine. You can also change the size with this. There's a little arrow right here. Allows you to change something here. Oh, I thought it was changing size here. Oh, there's custom. It doesn't seem to be changing. I need to put my cursor in there. Maybe I need to hide it, select it all. Let me try that. Again, this is different than the older version, so I'm still learning how to do most of these things. Look at this. It's not letting me select just that. Let me try it. Select that. Oh, it's not even changing anything. So I don't know what this is doing as far as this custom size here. Let's go back to normal. No, it's not even changing anything. Okay, let me see. Try again. Small. That worked. And there. Now I can change it. So it looks like you have to. I don't know. I chose that, and then I started doing this. I don't know why it wasn't working. But that looks a little better. So one of the things to keep in mind, though, is that people will be able to change the font size in their browser anyway. So one of the things. You might choose a size, but depending upon the user's browser, they may also alter the size of the text as well. So, and then don't forget, you can actually wrap text around. If you remember how I did that before, I did that the first week, and let's see if we can remember how to do that. I was able to, whatever. Let's make a new breakdown here, and I'm going to add an image. And I'm running out of space down here. Hold on. There we go. And then you can add an image. So I'm going to insert an image. I think I have one in my library. There we go. These leftover ones from a previous example. Let me choose my flower. And then after I put an image in, I can then wrap the text using these options up here at the very top. And no, it didn't work. Maybe it needs to be on top. I put it on top. There's little arrows here that allow you to go up and down in your blocks here. And let me see if I can. No. We did get it to wrap text at one point around here. No, let me see. Maybe because the image is too big and the image was too big and the text wouldn't wrap. Again, it was this option. I did put the picture above, so putting the picture above the text looks like it worked, and then do these options right here where you say left align and so on. That seems to wrap the text just fine around. So practice some of those for the text options, and then think about how you would format your text. Those are some of the most common ones. I haven't found an area to change the font yet, at least in this default theme. But hey, let's go and change the theme. So I'm going to save this. If I want to publish it, I can hit publish and it'll publish it. So by publishing it here allows you to add it to a menu. So I haven't really talked about how to make a menu, and I'm not going to do that actually till next week. But keep that in mind, is if you're trying to make pages and then make a menu to go to each of those pages, they need to be published to be able to add it to a menu. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about the themes for a moment. So themes again are the ways to format your website, and you saw all the different themes that you have inside of the WordPress.org theme option. To change your theme, you go underneath Appearance, and there's an option that says Themes right here. Once you go to Themes right here, you'll notice it shows me 3. And what are these 3? Well, they're the 3 default ones, and they just came from different years. As you can see, you got 2016, 2017, and then 2019. These are the built-in ones, but you don't see any other themes. And why don't I see any other themes? Well, I have to add a theme. How do I add a theme? As you'll notice up here at the top, it says Add New. Once I click the Add New, it's going to take me to the kind of the same area that you would see in WordPress.org. And you can then go and search even here as well. So again, if there's if you're doing photography or something like that, you can type in photography right up here. So it's just like you're searching on WordPress.org, and it shows you the themes for them. And notice it says install here. So this is where you would actually go and install your theme. So you know, I would kind of look for a theme that kind of fits your what you're trying to do in a website. And you can see you got portfolio sites, you got camera sites, you got big images, these giant hero kind of images. You got more. I like smaller images and a text mix than just a bunch of images. You know, text gives you a little bit more information, and you know, because you can read it. Where you know, websites with big images that don't say anything, it's kind of difficult to understand what it's for. So you know, as you're looking through, try and find a theme. And I don't know, I'm just going to go with something very simple right now so that we can I can show you how to do some things here. The other thing to keep in mind is some of these themes you have to, you know, they'll give it to you for free, but then they'll make you pay for upgrades, right? Oh, you want to do a slideshow, that's going to be money and blah, 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 stuff like that. So, you know, be weary of that. You know, which is the one I want? How about if I just do something this one is fashion sleeve. This is very interesting right here. Nice and simple. You can click the detail and it'll take you to the website and tell you more about it. Also, each one of these themes usually has a page that shows you how to customize your theme, and then it'll give you sort of some versions. It hasn't even been rated yet, so I don't know about this one. This is from 2000. This seems pretty old. Oof, I don't know if I would use this one. It doesn't tell me a lot about it. I don't know. Let me see. I know these are kind of sample pages, but I'd like to see a little bit more info about this one and find out, what was it called? Fashion sleeve. Hey, maybe I'll copy that and go to my main WordPress page and type that in and see what information comes up from this. Here it is, more info. Has 100+ active users. Updated February 6, 2019, which I guess is pretty new because that's only a few days ago. And any issues or anything? Seems like it looks like it might work. Okay, I'm going to try it. So again, do some research before you start clicking and installing, because each one you install is going to add more data to your website. And the more themes you have, the kind of the messier your data is going to be on your site. So just be careful of that. Why am I here? Let me go back. Which one was I going to install? Oh, this one, fashion sleeve. So again, if you want to, you can hit the preview button and it'll show you what it looks like, or you can just hit install. I'm going to hit install. So it's going to go, and basically when you hit install, what it's doing is it's taking the CSS, all those kind of data that you have in the theme, and adding it to your website. And if you say active, it'll go then and install it on your page. And the first thing you usually do once you do that is you can go to the customize option right here. What the customize option does once you install a theme is it'll give you some information about your theme. It'll show you it's already formatted your website. If you remember my default theme, and if I want, I can just go and view it. So let's go and view it here. Actually, let's go view it first, then we'll come back to customize. So let's go see what it looks like in up here in the very upper corner where it says visit site. And this is what it looks like now. As you can see, it changed the default theme that I had. It added a widget to the side. So this information that you see here is a widget to the side. It made a menu automatically. You'll notice I have some menus here. So this theme had a default menu over here. It has a sidebar over here. So it took the current site that I have and the current pages that I've already made and formatted into that theme. Once it's formatted in that theme, then you can go back and customize. Again, I'm going to click on the box that says customize at the very top up here. And that's usually where you can adjust. That's where you can change the theme as well, as you can see here. The first one is the theme options, and so there's general options here. It looks like there's sidebars on the right. Do you want the sidebar on the left? You could do that. Layout options, and as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different ways of adjusting this one compared to the default one. You can see footer options here, and you know, you get support options, and enjoying the theme, you can review it and give them a bonus there. Site identity is just like it was before, where you can choose a logo. I don't have a logo right now, but I guess we could make one. Again, if you want a logo, we can, you know, maybe I'll just go and find some clip art. Maybe go to Google. No, jeez, what is at Google? I just want to go to Google. And on Google, you can go to images. When you do the image search in Google, you can then type in, what am I looking for? Pittsburgh. And then you can go, when you're in images, you can go to tools. And then tools, and you can adjust certain options there. We can go to type, and we can say clip art. Maybe that, or line drawing, or animated even. And so let's say clip art. And so here in the clip art, is where you could choose some clip art. Some of the art I might want to do, again, is the FabCon. We talked about that in the last video. It's a little icon up there. So if you remember how I did that in a previous one, is if I click on it, it'll give me a big version. Just take a screen grab of that and use that. So again, a screen grab is Command-Shift-4 on a Mac, or use the snipping tool on Windows, and draw a box. I'm going to draw a box around here. Try and make it square, because your FabCon's kind of square. I'm going to steal this Pirates logo and use that again as my FabCon. So that's some kind of images you might want, or whew, you got the Steelers symbol there. So for my logo for that, maybe I'll steal this. I know I'm stealing, and it's kind of illegal to be doing this. I should be paying for graphics, but I'm just showing you that. You're going to have to learn to find graphics legally. I think I showed you that in Flickr before, and or searching for images that you could use and modify. So let me choose this. Again, I'm going to take a screen grab for now to steal that away. So again, I got some images. They're on my desktop. I'm going to add them here. So let me upload them and select image. And then I'm going to go to my desktop. And let me choose the two that I have here. You can actually choose more than one if you select them or shift click them and import them both at the same time. So once I import them, once I have them here, I can give them alt tag over here. Call this one logo. Call this one city. Okay, so again, over here is where you can adjust things, and I'd probably give it a title instead of this crazy title that comes with the word here. So marketing wise, make sure you understand that to add graphics. I think I talked about that in the previous video. Okay, in this case, what was I selecting? I was selecting the logo. So I'm going to use this one right here, the one I just took a screen grab of, and use that as my logo. It might ask me to crop, because the logo needs to be kind of a specific dimension. So you might have to crop it. That's okay, we'll crop it. If you don't crop it, it might just squish it. So there we go. It's at the top of my page now, which is kind of interesting. So I stole that graphic and put it at the top of my page. The other thing again is this FabCon. I'm going to change it. I don't like this. Is not the real city here, and we're going to put the Pirates logo in there. So again, down here, I'm going to hit change image, and let's choose the Pirate logo now, and let's say select that, and then let's put that in. So that'll be now up here in my FabCon up there. Okay, so again, make sure you try some of those things that I just talked about in site identity. Again, you'll have different options according to the theme. Then a header image if you want to have an image at the header. This theme has background image if you want. That would be behind there. I don't know. I wouldn't use a very busy image there. A menu. I'm not going to talk about menu, but this theme automatically made a menu. But I'll show you how to adjust that next week. Widgets is the other thing I really want you to look at this week. Now, the default one puts the widgets down in the footer at the very bottom. Where this theme, which is a new theme that I just put in there, it looks like it has a sidebar for your widgets over here. As you can see, the default widgets, it has a search bar, it has a recent post, recent comments, archives, and so on. All these kind of are things for a blog, right? Posts and things like that. If you're not making a blog and you're making a website, you can probably get rid of the sidebar, or at least change the widgets. To adjust the widgets, you can move them around. So if you don't want search on the top there, if you don't want to search, if you just click on it, you'll notice it says remove. So I can remove the search there if I want. If I click on it again, I can remove the categories. metadata if I want, archive, remove, comments, remove, post, remove. So if you don't want any blog stuff, you can get rid of all of that. But then you can add a widget. So look at some of the widgets you might want to add. Calendars are always good. It shows you the date. You can probably put in important dates in there. So if you click on calendar, it'll put a calendar over here and so on. And you can put a title. This is the, you know, whatever, important dates. Whatever, something like that. So notice now I have a calendar over there. I can add a widget, I can add a gallery, images, and so on. You can put links in there. I'll show you how to put an RSS feed in another week or so. Tag clouds are always cool because you can put that. You can even put a video over there and so on. So there's a lot of different things you can put inside there, and probably you might even be able to add more widgets depending upon the theme that you have. So try some of these, see what they do, and so on. And again, so depending upon your theme, you should have a widget. The last thing is the home settings. For the home settings, you can, if you're making a website, you would use a static page. If you're making a blog, you would say your latest post. So either one of those is rather important as far as, you know, kind of depending upon what you're doing. I know I already put static page, and you'll notice I only have 3 pages. The default about page, which doesn't have any information, the image example that we made already, and then the practice text that we just did today. So those are the only things that I have right now. I'm going to just use the image page because it has the most images on there. And if I hit publish right now, and I can go and close the X here, you can see what my website looks like currently at the very beginning. The menu is automatically made, so if I want to see my text example, I can click on that, and it'll show me my text example that I made today. So practice those things that I'm showing you today. Make sure you type up, you know, try some of the different widgets and so on. Next week I'll put together an entire website for you so that you see how all the pages can be linked together into and then don't forget to practice different themes. Try different themes and try those. Those are the things that you should be doing.